Most people expect getting rich to feel dramatic. Fireworks, big announcements, a you made it moment. But real wealth, it feels like rhythm, small moves, repeated. So boring you barely notice, until the results are impossible to miss. If you've wondered whether you're actually on the path, don't look at your car or your zip code. Look for the quiet signals, the habits that don't trend, but compound. In this video, I'll show you 7 signs you'll be rich in 10 years, if you keep going. If you see even a couple of these in your life already, you're closer than you think. Let's get into it. Sign 1. Your money moves before you do. On payday, you're not doing math at the kitchen table or promising you'll save what's left. The saving already happened. A set amount leaves your checking the moment your income lands. Some to a cushion you rarely touch, some to investments that buy more, even when you're not looking. You pay your future self first, and life simply adjusts to what remains. It feels predictable, almost boring. That's the point. Boring is repeatable. Repeatable compounds. Because the transfers are automatic, your progress doesn't depend on motivation or perfect timing. Busy week, it still runs. Market's noisy, the recurring buy still goes through. And when a raise shows up, you nudge the transfer up before your lifestyle notices. No big speech, no new subscription, just a slightly bigger slice moving to the right places. This isn't about deprivation, it's about design. You built a system where the right thing happens by default, and the leftovers are what you spend without guilt. If this describes you, even loosely, you're already compounding in the background, quietly stacking proof that the plan works. Sign 2. You live below your means without feeling deprived. You're not counting every grain of rice or clipping coupons like it's a sport. You've just designed a life where spending is intentional. The rent fits. The car is reliable, not performative. You buy quality once instead of chasing labels every season. Because you're not trying to impress anyone, your lifestyle naturally costs less than your income, and that difference shows up as calm in your day and options on your balance sheet. The margin is the engine. This isn't self-denial, it's clarity. You know what enough looks like for you, so upgrades don't chase every raise. When money goes up and lifestyle stays steady, the gap widens. That gap pays for investments, buffers, and future flexibility. It looks boring from the outside. No splashy announcements, no sudden toys, but boring buys freedom. If this is you, you're already building wealth in the background, quietly and on purpose. And that same steadiness usually shows up in how you invest, too. Which brings us to sign 3. You invest on a schedule, not a headline. You're not refreshing prices like a scoreboard. You set a recurring buy, turned on dividend reinvestment, and let time do what time does. The plan runs whether pundits are yelling or the feed is quiet. You judge success by did I follow my rules this month? Not did I nail the timing today? It feels slow. It feels almost dull. That's why it works. You've separated your news diet from your money routine. Headlines can swing, your contribution doesn't. When markets dip, your automatic buy simply picks up more shares. When they rally, you stay in the game without chasing. Once or twice a year, you rebalance back to your target mix, then go live your life. No heroic bets, no panic sells, just ownership compounding in the background, week after week. This isn't ignorance, it's discipline. You still review your allocation, fees, and goals on a schedule. You just don't let mood or momentum drive the wheel. And because your plan doesn't rely on perfect timing, it survives busy seasons, bad headlines, and good distractions. If this sounds like you, you're already beating most people without trying to outsmart them. The same calm shows up in your safety net, which brings us to sign 4. You built a buffer, and you don't brag about it. You're not living invoice to invoice anymore, and you didn't announce it on Instagram. Quietly, you stacked a few months of expenses in a high-yield account and let it sit there doing its job, buying you time. Flat tire? Annoying, not catastrophic. Medical copay? Handled, no credit card spiral. A surprise bill no longer hijacks your mood or your plan. What matters isn't just that the buffer exists, it's how you use it. When life happens, you pull from it without guilt, then refill it on schedule. No shame. No I failed at budgeting. That's the point of the cushion. To absorb shocks so your investing routine doesn't get derailed. Emergencies become inconveniences. Your long-term compounding stays intact. You also stopped treating cash like wasted potential. You know the difference between money doing nothing and money doing its job. This pile's job is stability. It keeps you from panic selling, payday loans, and 2 a.m. stress. And because the calm it creates is priceless, you don't feel the need to talk about it. You just sleep better and keep going. When that foundation is steady, Another change tends to show up on its own. Which brings us to sign 5. Your income went up, your lifestyle didn't. A funny thing happens on the way to real wealth. You start earning more and somehow look exactly the same. No new car payment the week after a raise. No apartment upgrade just because HR updated your salary. From the outside, nothing changed. On the inside, everything did, because the gap between what you earn and what you spend is getting wider on purpose. You don't celebrate promotions with new bills. You celebrate them with bigger transfers. The day your pay increases, your automatic contributions increase too. Groceries, rent, streaming, they stay put. That extra slice doesn't become fun money, it becomes future money. Over a few cycles, the effect is obvious. Savings up, investing up, stress down. It's not flashy, but it's the quiet math that builds a real cushion and then a real portfolio. This isn't deprivation, it's design. You can still enjoy upgrades, just not on impulse and not at the cost momentum. When lifestyle lags behind income, compounding gets a head start. Keep doing that, and 10 years from now, you'll look lucky. Which ties into the next shift most wealthy people make by default. Sign 6. Your money runs on rules, not moods. You don't wake up and feel out your finances anymore. You follow a simple playbook. Payday hits, the same steps fire, transfers to savings and investments, bills paid from a dedicated account, leftovers for life. Windfall shows up, a pre-decided split executes the same day. No negotiating with yourself. No, I'll think about it this weekend. Debt isn't a debate either. Highest APR gets attacked first while everything else gets minimums. Then you roll the freed payment into the next balance. You've also made it hard to drift. Cards aren't stored in every browser. Subscriptions live on one card you audit monthly. Your emergency fund sits in a separate high-yield account you don't casually tap. Even your accounts have jobs: buffer for calm, future for investing, bills for the essentials. The names remind you of the plan when motivation doesn't. Markets wobble and your routine doesn't. You rebalance on a schedule, not on a headline. You review fees and allocations quarterly or twice a year, then go back to living your life. The point isn't to outsmart everyone. It's to outlast your own impulses. Systems protect progress when work is busy, when news is noisy, and when you're tired. They turn good habits into defaults, and defaults into results. When money stops demanding daily attention, something better fills the space. You start buying back hours, not just things. Which brings us to sign 7. Your time is getting richer too. At some point, the flex stops being stuff and starts being schedule. You'd rather have a quiet afternoon than a louder car. You buy back hours on purpose. Groceries delivered when the week is packed. A cleaner once a month so weekends aren't chores. A faster tool that saves you 20 clicks a day. Not luxury for show, utility for peace. That's a different kind of wealth. You also say no more often. Meetings that don't need you? Declined. Social plans you'd resent? Rain check. You protect empty calendar space the way you used to protect discounts. Because you've learned that thinking time, rest, and focus pay higher returns than most impulse upgrades. When money starts serving your time, not stealing it, you've crossed an invisible line, and it shows up in how you feel. Fewer urgent fires, more unhurried mornings, work you choose, not work you chase. You still care about numbers, but you measure progress in hours reclaimed and decisions made calmly. That's a telltale sign the foundation is set, and the next decade will compound in more ways than one. Wealth rarely shows up like a jackpot. It shows up like rhythm, transfers that run, choices you don't feel pressured to make, time you get back without asking. If you saw even one or two of these signs, you're not stuck, you're building. Keep the money moving before you do. Keep the lifestyle steady while income climbs. Keep the rules running when motivation dips. The next 10 years will do the rest. Before you close this video, do one small thing. Bump your automatic transfer by 1% or block a 90-minute sprint on your calendar this week. Tiny steps become streaks. Streaks become options. If this helped, tap like so it reaches someone who needs it. Tell me which sign showed up for you in the comments. And for the habits that make these signs inevitable, watch 7 Habits of the Quietly Wealthy next. See you there.